think it's safe to say that the biggest struggle for young men today is probably lust. And right up there, right up next to it, is probably vanity and pride. And I think when we go to the gym, it just kind of amplifies it. No hate to or judgment to ladies, but you know, you've got ladies wearing pretty much whatever they want at the gym, and get a young man in there that doesn't have the tools to deal with his own lust, then it's just a problem. And then with vanity, it's just like, you know, I think that's people's main reason for going to the gym. 9 times out of 10. You know, we can say it's to make our bodies healthy, but at least getting into the gym, I think that's all of our reason for it. It was my reason. It was my reason for a long time. You know, until I started making it about being strong and healthy for my family and being a good steward to my body. How can we deal with vanity? How can we deal with lust? I'll start with lust. You know, I'm not sure what the statistic is, but I think it's 9 out of 10 men deal with the P word. And then the average age of exposure is like 9 years old. So a lot of times you get exposed to it, it's out of your control. You don't have the tools to deal with it. A lot of young men, they might not have Christ in their heart at that point, so they don't even get the decision on whether they can deal with it or not. They just have the problem, and it becomes an addiction, and then it just slowly eats at them. So, got a 9-year-old, now he's 15, he's addicted to pornography. He goes to the gym, what's he supposed to do? What can he do? And then it would just be a vicious cycle after that. So how can we deal with it? I think a lot of it would start with social media. So many friends of mine that I've seen, not necessarily close friends, you know, they're following these Instagram models, or some of them even OnlyFans models, and they're just scrolling, seeing butts all day, seeing girls in their bikinis. And then even then, they don't even have to be following them. This is what my Explore page used to look like when I was in high school. You open the Explore page and it's just models dressed in almost nothing. If you're opening your Instagram and that's leading you to temptation, delete it. Delete your Instagram, period. Or just make a fresh account. Making a fresh account is risky though, because a lot of times when you make a fresh account, you're going to start getting popular posts, and a lot of popular posts are bikini posts. So I think best option, delete your Instagram, get in the Bible, get in the Word, do daily devotions, talk to a friend, talk to a man who's older than you, who's maybe dealt with similar problems before. Get some sort of counseling. Because, I mean, a lot of times we're just in our own filth, and we say we're fine, we say we're dealing with it, but we're not. We're not dealing with it. And that was my problem for a long time. You know, by the grace of God, I've gotten over it, but you know, if I didn't make the decisions I made, you know, for my family and for myself, you know, who knows where I would be right now. Things could be a lot worse in my spiritual life. step one, I would say, delete your Instagram. Get rid of the temptation. After that, get in the Word. Get in, do your daily devotions. And then talk to somebody. Whether that's counseling, whether that's talking to a man that's been with it before. Just talk to somebody, handle it, because it will ruin your relationships. It will ruin your future relationships. And if you think it's not sin, if you think it's not a problem, just look at Galatians, look at the fruits of the Spirit. Read out the fruits of the Spirit, and you can tell me whether lust and everything that comes with it lines up with those, lines up with God's character. We're going to talk about vanity now. Why do you go to the gym? Is it to look better? Am I saying there's something wrong with wanting to look better by itself? No, absolutely not. But being obsessed and spending however many hours a week focusing on your appearance, that is vanity. That is sin. Going to the gym solely to look better is a form of vanity. It's something I struggled with for a long time, like I already said. There is a way out. We talk about, being a good steward to your body. I've seen that picture, that post. It was, they put an MRI up of a 70-year-old triathlon, and they put an MRI up of a 70-year-old sedentary man, and they looked at their leg muscle, and the leg muscle of the man that was sedentary was just shriveled, and the triathlon, it looked just like, what a healthy 30-year-old would look like. And then under the post, it was something like, most elderly people are put into retirement homes because they can't get off the toilet. And, the guy who made the post, he was basically saying, something to the tune of, they got put into a retirement home. They couldn't support themselves because they couldn't do a quarter squat, body weight squat to get off the toilet. And I don't know all the science on it. I can't give you all the statistics, but I can tell you, if you get in the gym to take care of your body, then there's a lot of problems you're not going to have to deal with in the future, and that being one of them. Unless, you get crippled somehow, but let's say you're healthy and you just sit all day, then that might happen to you. But if you're healthy and you go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, there's a lot of problems you're not going to have to deal with. And, that by itself is good enough reason to me to go to the gym. That kind of takes away from me focusing on myself. And I'm not saying any focus on your appearance is bad. That's like saying me putting on a suit instead of wearing a t-shirt and shorts is bad, okay? There's nothing wrong with that, It's good to take care of yourself. It's good to take care of your appearance, but it's the obsession that's the problem. It's making it an idol, putting it before God. Anything is sinful when you put it before God. Example. Video games. Duh. If I'm playing 8, 9, 10 hours of video games a day and I'm opening my Bible only at church on Sunday, what does that say about my priorities? Is that an idol? Yeah. That's an idol. Is that sinful? Yeah, that's definitely sinful. That's another problem I deal with. That's why I brought it up. You know, growing up, I'd play video games for 10, 11, 12 hours a day. Wouldn't think a thing about it. I still play. I still play 2 or 3 times a week, maybe 4. I definitely try not to play every night, because when I play, it's after the baby goes to bed. It's after Chloe goes to bed. And then I don't get much sleep. I'll go to bed at 12 a.m. because I take some of my sleep away and I decide to play video games. I'm definitely trying to cut back. I want to take a break. I'm going to, because we're going on vacation next week. But, you know, it's fun. It's fun. That's how I connect with my friends. My friends, they live pretty far away, most of them. So we connect that way. It's good. But like I said, anything can become an idol, but vanity, focusing on your appearance, that's a big one. It's a problem that a lot of young men deal with. I was gonna record the lift today. I did not. It's alright. Gym was busy. College kids are back. Christmas is tomorrow. You guys have a Merry Christmas. If you got any questions about what I said today, you know, just go ahead and DM me on Instagram. We can have a conversation about it. When I talk about this stuff, I would rather cite scripture when I'm talking about it. But this was just kind of on the fly, so I didn't have the time to do that. Like I said, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's.